Got it. And he's come all the way from Macon. Where is he? I am so sorry. Would you like to come? If I can hold my committee for a few more minutes, if you would like to come and give your report. And I apologize to my committee. I'm sorry. Come on up. And if we can just hold the committee for a few more minutes. Thank you. I am so sorry. Can you come back?
I can. We'll work out something. I know everybody's tired. So.
We'll have a meeting next Tuesday.
Okay. I'll look at my schedule and see if I can work that out.
We're at the end of the session, and you can tell that it's taking its toll.
It's been very exciting.
And I think that I've scheduled another meeting on a couple of bills. I'm going to have a hearing on a Thursday. Hey, John, what is that Thursday that I have? Can you call my office tomorrow and there's a Thursday or a Tuesday or a Thursday?
We'll work something out.
I so apologize. I'm very, very sorry.
That's okay. I understand.
So everything. Okay, Representative Sharper?
No, I was just saying that we have enough members here. It may be worse next week. I don't know. I mean, I want to do it now. How long is it? How long is it?
What? 15 minutes. How long do you need?
15 minutes, 20 minutes?
I've learned when speaking up here, it can be whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
I can adapt.
I think, let me make the decision to let them come back. We'll do it. We'll pass out the material.
You have a nice
Let me
packet.
have a
You
vote
can read about it.
with whoever's left. How many people? Raise your hand if you want them to do it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many no? Okay, we have it now. Would you please present your bill? Billy, sit down.
It's no bill. It's just an update.
I'm sorry.
By legislative, we have to report once a year.
Okay, Rakestraw, sit down. And you too. Join us on the committee. You can sit, Booby. Okay, can we have everybody's attention?
Go ahead and they're not going to be able to see it. We'll just do this.
I've got it. Okay, Dr. Ashley, you're on.
Okay, I'm going to really abbreviate this because you have it in front of you, so I'm going to just hit a couple of highlights and let y'all get out of here. But basically, you'll see on the front cover there, we had our Stop the Bleed Day at the Capitol February 7th. Many of y'all participated, and we certainly appreciate that. If anybody did not learn how to stop the bleed by using a tourniquet or by packing a wound, if you'll see me or our Executive Director, Dina Abston here of the Trauma Commission, we'll make sure you personally get trained. We've put in bleeding kits, Stop the Bleed, in the Capitol. There's 2 in the Capitol and 1 in the Coverdale building here, and they're readily accessible. We'll be providing training for the police force here just after the session. We couldn't get them in right before the session. So a lot of movement going on there with Stop the Bleed campaign. If you look to the next page, page 2 real quick, you'll see a nice young lady there named Ashley Power. This is the message I want you to take home. I know y'all sat here today and you debated bills and you do stuff and you're tired and everything, but I want you to just take this one point home. This is a survivor story, and this is why we do what we do. And I get up here and over the years, I've presented you charts and slides, and you get bored with them. I understand all that. But this is really the take-home message. Look at the timeline there. You see 911 call came in. One day, Ashley, a Georgia citizen, was driving behind a log truck, and one of the logs came dislodged and came off the truck and went through her windshield and crushed her face. Just about every bone in her face was broken. She was bleeding profusely at the scene. Amazingly, she did not lose consciousness and remembers the whole thing. She was actually our survivor up here on February 7th and was telling her story. And she sat on the roadside waiting for the ambulance to get there. The 911 call came out. Another Georgia citizen held her hand and talked to her and kept her alert while she was there. And she couldn't really see well with the blood in her face and swallowing the blood, but she knew she was in trouble. She was transported by ground transportation to a non-designated trauma center there in Brunswick. They realized that this was a catastrophic injury and really she needed level 1 care. She was then life flighted to the level 1 trauma center in Savannah. And after many hours of surgery, take a look at her there. You would not think a log crushed her face and that she had severe injury and bleeding. And on the day of trauma here, our February 7th day, she's reunited with Dr. Dunn there, who's the trauma director in Savannah. So we're doing a lot of good stuff. I could go on, I can tell you a lot of other stuff, but we're working on quality. We're trying to make sure every citizen has the same chance that Ashley had, and we're making progress. So when you go home tonight and you think about all the arguments and the bills and the hard work you're doing, just remember for the Healthcare Services Committee, this is what it's all about. And I'm going to go to my last slide. So how's that? Turn to the last page.
But Ashley, Dr. Ashley, I want to ask you, how long from the time that the 911 call went in till they got her to Savannah?
I don't have that on my timeline, but it wasn't very long. It was pretty fast. I think it was less than an hour.
That she made it to they picked her up, she made it to the stop, and then made it to Savannah
Right.
by being air flighted.
The system worked real well there.
Okay.
And if you turn to the last page, you see Ashley on our day of trauma here, her hand being held in the air by Dr. Coles. Dr. Bob Coles is a urologist. He's also a co-member with me on the Trauma Commission. And it turns out that he was a family friend, and obviously he was very excited that Ashley got good care, and they're back together again spreading her story. So when you go home tonight and you lay down, you've done a good deed, and we appreciate it. And we'll continue to work with you to make sure all Georgians have that same access.
Okay, Sharper, here it comes. Is Phoebe Putney bending any about getting that area of Georgia covered?
Madam Chair, funny you should ask that question. Turn to page 4, possible future designated trauma centers. If you see there, the top 5 list that we've looked at and done our analysis on, you see Northeast Georgia was at the top of the list based on volume. And I'm happy to say in 2013, they came into the system and are doing as a level 2 trauma center, and they are doing an outstanding job and really filled a gap. And you see the other centers listed there. And yes, Madam Chair, Phoebe Putney is on our list. And any help we could do to get them to come into the system would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, legislators, talk to anybody you know, talk down there. Because isn't that area still lacking in coverage?
That's correct. That's a place that we really need help.
Okay, so if we drive to Florida, and everybody on this committee takes their kids to Florida, and they're going down 75, where do they have to start worrying about there's not good coverage? Below Macon?
Below Macon.
Okay,
So
because
from
the
Macon
rest
on
of the
down.
state, we've got pretty good coverage, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and once again, I owe you. I apologize, and I don't know what to say other than I am so very sorry.
No problem.
I'd like to request that if at some later date he can't return, this is, I think, very important. We
Okay,
should.
I mean, try it before session ends? Okay, next Tuesday, and then if you'll call tomorrow or have somebody call, we'll tell you the Thursday. I'm gonna call a meeting for us.
Okay. Be happy to.
Okay, and thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for what you do. We appreciate it.
I cannot believe I did that.